Right, hello people, welcome to my prediction for Moses Itauma versus Jermaine Franklin. This fight is taking place this weekend, and yeah man, this is a reasonable step up for the surging Moses Itauma, who is just on great momentum at the moment in the heavyweight division, doing really well, knocking everyone out in the first round, putting on some really impressive performances, but this is the step up he needs at this point. A guy who, on paper, should give him rounds. Whether or not Jermaine Franklin does give him rounds, I'll get into later. But this is a guy who should give him rounds. A guy who's been in there with, some good heavyweights. Has beaten controversially a good heavyweight, I'd say. Lost to others. Has never been finished, and has a decent skill set in his own right. Of course, we haven't seen Moses Itauma since August, I think, of last year against Dillian White, where he blew him out in a round, which, despite it being, past his best version of Dillian White, was still Dillian White, still experienced, you know what I mean, still capable in some respect, I guess. Like, surely he's still capable of something, but not at the level he once was. Jermaine Franklin's coming off his win against Ivan Ditchko. This is what I mean by his win over a good heavyweight. Very controversial win. A horrible fight. One of the worst fights you'll ever see. Not a good fight and a controversial win at best. I did not see how Jermaine Franklin got that fight done. No clue how he got it on the scorecards, and being completely honest with you, I thought Ditchko beat him quite convincingly in what was a terrible fight. Not really a fight either man would be proud to win, but yeah. So going into this fight, there is just a stark difference in momentum. Itauma has been fairly active. Of course, that activity is questionable due to the fact he's blowing out everyone in a round, right? He's just blowing everyone out in a round, and he's got 2 fights in last year. That's not good enough. He didn't even spend 5 minutes in the ring. Whereas Jermaine Franklin lost to Anthony Joshua, took a lot of time off, got a fight in, and then was off for a little bit, and then fought Ditchko. So his activity has been sparse, to say the least. So it doesn't bode well for Franklin, in my opinion. There's quite a few aspects of this fight that don't bode well for Franklin, in my opinion. Getting into the more technical aspect, we go into Itauma, what he's good at. He's shown a little bit of everything. He hasn't been hit clean on the chin yet. Jermaine Franklin's power is average for a heavyweight. Itauma hasn't been hit on the chin yet, and he hasn't gone the round, so you don't know how the gas tank's going to hold up. But from what you can see about Itauma, he is actually very disciplined, very patient, very poised. I know that might sound weird to say, considering he's blowing everyone out in a round, but it's the way in which he's blowing everyone out. He's not going out there and swinging and trying to knock the guys out. He's letting it happen. He's setting it up, and it just so happens to come in the first round. He's got very quick hands, puts his punches together very well, picks his shots very, very well. Has great setups on his shots, has good lead hand variation, really has shown a good all-round game, considering he's a young 20-year-old kid. Jermaine Franklin, on the other hand, is athletically about as average as you can get for a heavyweight. The hand speed is pretty good, nothing special. The punch power, similar. It's quite average for a heavyweight. The chin is really good. The defense is really, really good. He relies quite a bit on parries. And getting into that, I think the difference for me in this fight has always been Itauma's hand speed, especially compared to Anthony Joshua and Dillian White, who are the 2 losses on Jermaine Franklin's resume. I do believe Jermaine Franklin beat Dillian White that night, although I haven't seen the fight since it happened. The Anthony Joshua fight he lost clear, but took some good shots in that fight. He's very parry reliant, is Jermaine Franklin. That's his primary form of defense, is he likes to parry, and he's very, very good at that. In the Ditchko fight, he got him in a bit of trouble. I think against Itauma, he'll get him in much trouble because, first of all, Itauma's hands are so quick. It's hard to time a parry with quick hands. Second of all, Itauma's a southpaw, so obviously where you'd normally parry a jab with your right hand when you're fighting an orthodox fighter, swapped. You'd have to parry the jab with the left hand against a southpaw, which is the wrong way round in most fighters' estimations. So I just think that that's the main thing about this fight, and why this fight might not go as many rounds as people think. I think it will be over within 4. I think Itauma's going to be heavy on the feints, which is going to keep Jermaine Franklin guessing. Might draw out a parry from Jermaine Franklin, and the hands will just be too quick, and Itauma will get around it, get around the guard, and catch him. You might have to put some shots together, but I just think at some point he overwhelms him with that speed, and I think it will be set up and really come off the hand speed, right? He'll just kind of be biding his time, feinting. He might draw out the wrong reaction out of Jermaine Franklin due to him being used to fighting orthodox fighters, draws out the wrong reaction in Jermaine Franklin and catches him with a flurry and just overwhelms him. That kind of stoppage. Nothing out cold, not even necessarily a big wobble, just... Yeah. It is an interesting fight. Maybe Jermaine Franklin can take him rounds, but I don't know, man. If he had a really... it is interesting because Jermaine Franklin can be very negative in fights. He can be negative if he wants to. Like the Ditchko fight last time out, he was clinching a lot, he wasn't throwing much. But even then, all it takes is a moment, and I don't see a moment where Jermaine Franklin... I don't see how Jermaine Franklin doesn't revert to form, right? Even if he says, I'm just going to bide my time and try and get this kid into later rounds, that he doesn't just revert to form, maybe bite on a feint, try to parry, and gets caught. I don't see that happening. Fighters are wired a certain way, and I think that's how it's going to happen, man. I'd say Itauma within 4, and hopefully on to some bigger fights against some better names later in the year. And yeah, thanks for watching. Goodbye.